Hello everyone, welcome to the Corner Library. For this, I'm filming this on Sunday the 13th of July, I think it is, for you tomorrow on Monday the 14th of July. So first of all, I have to apologise. Last week, one of you very kindly identified the fact that I had inadvertently told you that it was the 6th of June rather than the 6th of July. So I do apologise for that. And thank you. I can't remember who it was now, but thank you for letting me know, because in actual fact, I was dating everything that I did in that week as June rather than July. So, and even up until the last few days, I've still been, both Mark and myself have been thinking that it was June, and we've had to remind ourselves it was July. So we have a few things on this from now on for this month. So it really is important that we keep the dates in the forefront of our mind. Anyway, a few things again today. First of all, yesterday, Saturday, I went out into the garden all day, and I think I have to be honest and say I had a bit of a fight with the roses. I was pruning pomegranate tree and a number of the roses in the garden. And let's just say it was the war of the roses, everyone. Even though I was fully covered, I had gloves, I had glasses on to protect my eyes, and I had a hat and long sleeves and long pants and boots. I was still attacked. Those roses were vicious, everyone. They were absolutely vicious. And although they really did need pruning, and some of them, in all honesty, they have not been pruned. One of the climbing roses near the chicken coop hasn't been pruned in 10 years. So it was in dire need of pruning, and it was fighting for its life, everyone. It would not give up easily. So there was a big war. It was the War of the Roses 2025. Even when I was taking the branches out I've put them in a pile to dry out so that I can burn them, along with a few other things. And they were clinging onto the gate, and I was tugging them, and there were bits flying everywhere. Arthur was trying to help me, and he was getting in the way. It was a big mess. But anyway, I won. There were casualties on both sides, but I think I won. So I did that yesterday, which then leads me into the next thing I want to say, which is, at the end of this video, first of all, I'll let you all know, last year in our other YouTube channel, Australian Book Travels, I filmed a sneaky midweeker. Excuse me, everyone. I filmed a sneaky midweeker in our chicken coop to show you. I wanted to renovate it and do a few really nice things for the chickens. I wanted to paint the actual chicken house. So I took you through our little chicken coop and chicken run, which, if I can locate it quickly, I will pop a link to it in the description box below. But what happened, I promised you that I would show you maybe by month or every couple of months, I would show you the progress that we were making on that coop. What happened was, we weren't intending it to be exactly at the time that it happened, but we had a number of the hens laying, and then we had a number of the chicks that hatched. They had to be hand reared and all of that. So in amongst all of that, we couldn't disturb the hens and the chicks by sanding the coop and painting and all of that sort of thing. So, and then by the time we could sort of really get to do anything in the coop, painting and anything major, the weather was either too hot or it was too cold, or we were busy with other things. So I apologise for not bringing you an update on that, but in the meantime, I decided that I really wanted a second chicken run and coop for a number of reasons. One is so that I can rest this old one and have the chickens in, sorry everyone, I've got my hair caught, so that we can have the chickens in the new run and coop, and rest this old one. Also so that we can split the roosters and the hens. We had originally one rooster, but with this new batch of chicks, 2 of them have become roosters. So we now have 3 roosters, which is just too much for the hens, the amount of hens that we have. So we thought we'd like to split them up. And also, you know, there are those times when if someone's not getting along with someone else, you need to be able to put them in other coops and things. So I want to build another run, mainly using some of the materials that we still have on the property. I will likely buy another children's playhouse, as I did with the first one, as for their actual chicken house, the coop, the hen house. But the fencing I will build myself with materials, hopefully, that we still have lying around the property. And perhaps I will have to buy new wire. In fact, I think I will have to buy new Avery wire for the bottom to keep the snakes out, and new chicken wire for the top half of the fencing. So what I thought I'd do, at the end of this video, I'm going to just show you the location where the new chicken coop, or the second chicken coop, will be. It's just a couple of trees in near the house in the field, but I thought I would take you along that journey. And then once I've built that, and we have that established, we can move the chickens from the old coop into the new, and then I can renovate the other chicken house at my leisure. It will take me time to build this new run because I'm going to do it on my own. Mark works full time. We are busy with it. When we're together, we are busy with other things around the house. You know, it's not as though we don't have other things to do around here. We have lived in this house now coming up 11 years. We built it and lived in it. Obviously, we now live in it. But there are still things that we have, many things that we have to finish off. We still have the kitchen to finish. We have the veranda to finish. There's decking that we'd like to erect, and pergolas and entertainment area, all sorts of things. So it's not like we don't have anything to do, but I just think as a priority, I really would like to have this second chicken run. So if you're interested and you'd like to wait until the end of this episode, I will just have a little extra to show you where this new coop will be. If you're interested in that at all. And then as time goes on, it will take a while because I am going to do everything myself and by hand, but I'll film that as I go. And then what I will do is whenever I have a little bit something new to show you, I'll just pop it on the end of the book recommendation videos, if that's okay with all of you. So that's that, and yes, the fight I had with the roses yesterday, that was really interesting, and even the pomegranate tree had a little bit to say about my intervention, but, you know, it had to be done, so for their own benefit. Sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind, everyone. Right. The other thing I wanted to say to you, as you all know, if you watched Australian Book Travels, or if you've watched in the last few weeks, I do now read I read and recommend books that are published by Fremantle Press here in Western Australia, and Echo Publishing and HarperCollins. I haven't had the ability to read all of the books that are being sent to me, but what I want to do is, over the next few weeks, is in each episode show you the current books that I've been sent from the various publishers. So this week I want to show you some of the books that Echo Publishing have sent me. Some of them you have already seen, and some of you may already have read them, but I just want to show you so that we at least get a start on showing and recommending the books that the publishers have very kindly sent to me. So we'll do that at the end, but there are 3 books that I really want to recommend to you today that I have read. Sorry everyone, and as you'll see, I'm in a new location. I'm actually sitting on the opposite side to the bookshelf. I thought that this would help with, it is cloudy today, and so we'll get a little bit of reflection from the window. So I'm hoping, I have a light behind the camera, so I'm just hoping that you'll be not annoyed by the reflection and I can still see. Okay, the first one, I bought this last year and I showed you in an unboxing on Australian Book Travels. This was Food Book of the Year 2015 by Helena Attlee. This is The Land Where Lemons Grow. So Helena is English, and she has written a number of books, particularly about Italy and Italian gardens. I read this week. I haven't finished it, but it is so interesting that Mark is thinking about reading it. And as you all know, he's not a big fiction reader, non-fiction reader. Actually, he's not a big fiction reader either, but he's very interested in this because we grow citrus ourselves here, and we have quite a few potted and trees in the ground as well. We love our citrus. I love cooking with it, and we love growing it and growing different types. But you may think that this could be boring, and it could be if it wasn't written in such a brilliant way. This is about Helena traveling through Italy. As I say, she has written a few books about Italian gardens. She gives you the history of all of the citrus that is grown throughout Italy. Everything from the blood oranges in the eastern end of Sicily through to Italy to Florence, where they grow a lot of their citrus in pots, along the Amalfi Coast, where they are renowned for their lemons, the cenote that is grown, all sorts of citrus that's revered in Italy, that is grown, that is used for cooking. It is used for all sorts of products, and for cooking, as I say, for drinking like limoncello and chinotto. Look, she gives you through this. There is so much to say about this. It really is good, and I do recommend it if you are remotely interested in food, where it comes from, how it's grown, particularly citrus, how it's used, the history. She gives you the history of the location where it's grown, and also the food, the fruit where it is grown. She gives you the history of the food that is made from the citrus. She gives a beautiful account of the topography and the landscape of Italy as you go. We drive through Italy to witness and view the fruit. This is brilliant. It really is lovely. If you are any way, shape or form interested in citrus or food, cooking, she gives you the history of the cooking. She gives a history and the use of throughout history of the fruit. If you're remotely interested in any of that, in Italy at all, she even speaks about Galileo and how all of the artists and writers throughout, and the poets throughout history in Italy, or who have spoken about the fruit in Italy. This is brilliant. It's really interesting and is really visual. She does a beautiful job of giving you the visualization, allowing you to visualize the landscape in Italy. It's beautiful, and I recommend it. As I say, I'm just towards the end of it. And also through this, at the end, of course, we have the index, but she also gives you timelines and the type of citrus, the names, the different species, and what else have we got here? The harvesting, how they harvest, because of course you probably already know this, but you should never pick citrus off from a tree. You should always cut it, so as you don't damage the skin, and the fruit retains its flavour, and it also stops it from drying out, along with a number of other things. But at the back we have all of the information that we need, further reading that she suggests. It's really, really good. I do recommend it. It really brings about and evokes those wonderful visuals of Italy and the beautiful fruit. So that's that I genuinely recommend. Oh, and by the way, this is Penguin. This is the paperback. I so enjoyed this, and it is something that you go back to. It's not something that you read once. In actual fact, I'm thinking about, although I'm just to the end of this, I am thinking about going back and tagging all of the information that I want from this book, and that I know I will need in the future. So it really is a reference book, as well as a novel on a bit of a memoir of her travels around Italy, seeking out the different types of citrus. And also I just want to let you know, with all of the index and everything, it is 248 pages, but the main body of this, the informative is round about 205, 206, something like that. I recommend it. Now the next one, this one I purchased from Tea Leaves and Reads in the UK. If any of you remember, I think I've bought 2 or 3 boxes now from Tea Leaves and Reads. They have such beautiful books with authors who have signed. There have been signed editions, hard copies, hard covers, and sprayed edges and things like that. Also, some of the novels that we just don't get here. So I did an unboxing, and I finally got to read this particular one. This is by Emily Critchley. This is The Undoing of Violet Clayborn. Now this is, let me get all the lowdown for you before we begin. Of course, Emily is English. She grew up in Essex. Hang on, everyone. Let me just get this all. It's not giving me, it's not. Where are you? No, it's not giving me, it must be at the rear of the book. That's funny. Why is it not giving me? That's really strange. It's not giving me. Anyway, once I get the details for you, I'll give you the publisher, and the amount of pages is, what have we got here? The amount of pages is, everyone, I'm really skipping here. 386. This is brilliant. It's so much fun. Now, we have our protagonist. I won't tell you too much, as you know I don't like to do that, but we have our protagonist basically in present day. She's an older lady. She returns to an old school friend's home that is now effectively a museum, which then and she has in her possession a letter that she has not actually read, but she knows it's to do with this friend, Violet Clayborn, and the house. Now, our protagonist is at boarding school. She has her own story, her backstory. She befriends Violet Clayborn, who is quite a quirky character. She then spends a winter holiday with Violet Clayborn and her family. And there are things that happen from that. I won't go into any more detail, but at the beginning, we are with this older lady that she narrates the story, and then she takes us back to 1938 in the winter that she spends with this particular family. It is witty. Our narrator is self-deprecating. She has that self-deprecating humour. I loved it. It is warm and inviting. It's fun. It's interesting. It's quirky. There are quirky things. I recommend this. I think if you're looking for a great story, interesting, with a bit of mystery, then I recommend this. Absolutely wonderful. I enjoyed it. Now, an Australian one that I bought just recently and I finished. This is Angie Faye Martin's Melaleuca. This is HQ Fiction and this is this year's, by the way. This is 2025, I'm sure. Hang on, I will tell you. I couldn't tell you about this one because there was nothing at the front that was... Oh, I beg your pardon. Let's go back to The Undoing of Violet Clayborn. I have now found it. It's Zafra Publishing Group. It's a Bonnier Books UK company, and this was first published in 2024. This one was about 2014, I think, this one. Did I say that? Yeah, so that's that. Now we get on to Melaleuca, Angie Faye Martin. Now, Angie identifies as an Aboriginal woman, but she also tells us in the information section of this that she also identifies as European. So she obviously has that heritage, the Aboriginal and European heritage. And it's beautiful that she recognises both or lets us know that she is from both heritage. She has both heritage. Is that right? Am I saying that properly? This is fiction. However, it is a mystery. There is a murder, and there's another few mysteries on top of that. It is Australian. It's set in Queensland, and we go back in time, and then we come forward. This is about an Aboriginal policewoman in Queensland who is seconded, I guess, to a small country town where she grew up. I won't tell you any more than that, but there is actually more to it in that it's not just the murder mystery, it's not just the other mysteries. It is about the way Aboriginal people have been treated, and particularly Aboriginal women. It's not in your face. It is just really the truth as we know it, that has been well documented by Europeans as well as by Aboriginal people. And this, I was actually even more interested in the way the Aboriginal women were treated within European towns within Australia. I found it heartwarming. I found it sad, and it makes you want to know more. But the story, it's the story that it really is, which is this murder mystery that incorporates the treatment of Aboriginal women and Aboriginal people per se. It draws you in, and I genuinely couldn't put it down. I thought I wanted to know more, not just about the mystery, but about the settlements that Aboriginal people were forced to live in. Look, I love the cover. I really love the cover. And, oh, sorry everyone. I really like that cover, but and this is one that I would really love to have on my shelf in hardcover. I think it's it's beautiful. It's well written. It's simple. There's no complexity to it, and perhaps some of you will guess who the murderer is, but there's more to it than that. That's not really what I took away from this. I enjoyed that part of it, but it was more how the Aboriginal women saw themselves and what they aspired to be and what they still aspire to be, but particularly we go back to the 1960s. So, yeah, it's really good. I recommend it. I thought it was a great story and great truths in there, in amongst that fictional story. Right, now, Echo Publishing. Let's just go through these quickly. These are all Echo Publishing. Oh, no, I beg your pardon. I've chosen, I beg your pardon, these are Fremantle Press. I was going to show you Echo Publishing, but I'm actually going to show you Fremantle Press. Sorry, everyone, I beg your pardon. Now, this first one, Alan Carter, I received this recently. This is the new Detective Nick Chester series. This is Franz Joseph. Last year I read one of his novels and I can't remember the title actually. It was, what was the title? It may have it in here what the title was. Anyway, I'll put that in the subtitles for you, but I absolutely loved his writing. I love the story and I cannot wait to get into this. Now, I think this one is not November. So this one will be out in November. I will remind you closer to the time because what I will do is read it before then and let you know what I think. But look, I really loved his writing and I'm looking forward to this. I can't remember the one that I read. Which one was it? Oh, Prize Catch. That's right. That was set in Tasmania and that was brilliant. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Okay, so that's that. Again, they're all Fremantle Press. David Wilson, we read Cutler from his last time. This is now O'Keefe. Cutler was really good. Again, it was a bit of a espionage, undercover detective on the waters and on the oil rigs from memory. This one is due out in October, so I will have to read that beforehand. But I did enjoy his Cutler. It was a little bit more serious. It's not comfy cozy. Neither is Alan Carter's, but his was... I think it was more, for me, Alan Carter's Prize Catch was probably because I've lived in Tasmania. It was just, it resonated a little bit more with me. Cutler was more procedural. It was really serious and procedural and it was quite heavy actually. It was really quite heavy, and dark a little bit. So, but I enjoyed it. And so for those of you who are wanting more cutting edge, this is it. Dave Wilson is definitely the man for you. And I will have to read that before October to let you really know what I think. But I did enjoy Cutler, so I'm hoping I will enjoy O'Keefe. I did show you this the other week. This is Karen Herbert's The Ghost Walk. Absolutely fabulous. This is one that I have read. I think I had read it when I suggested it to you. This is brilliant. I loved it, enjoyed it. I think, is it? I don't know whether to say it or not, but I'm not sure if it's been nominated for a literary prize. But if I'm wrong, I'll let you know. Or if I'm right, I'll let you know and I'll tell you which one it is. But just pretend that perhaps I could be wrong on that, but it really does deserve it. It is a great story. This is where we have, I'm just trying to remember, yeah, that's right. We have a person who was a lover with a surgeon and is now having a lung heart, I think, is it? Transplant. It's really good and the surgeon is found dead. Let me just check that. I'm just going from memory here. Did anyone know Dr. Gabrielle Beaufort better than Ruby Rose Gillespie? They were friends at high school. They are secret lovers now. And because he is also the lung transplant surgeon who saved her life, Ruby will forever be in his debt. But then the body of Dr. Beaufort is found in the wetlands next to the hospital on the same day. Ruby is readmitted with a sudden fever. It is great. It is really good and I enjoyed it. But I've got a sneaky suspicion it may have been nominated for an award. But anyway, I'll check that. But it is really one that you need to read because I enjoyed it. Oh, yes, this one. This was really good. I enjoyed this. I don't know if when I recommended it or if I showed you last time that I had already read it. I have read it. This is The Distance Between Dreams by Emily Paul. Now, I've got it in here and I think this is already, yeah, it's already come out April this year. This has already been on the market for everyone to read. I do recommend it. It's absolutely brilliant. Well, I'll read the back. I'll read the back for you because everyone has the ability to read that. I don't want to tell you too much more. And sometimes with some of these novels, you have to be careful that I don't tell you too much. And yet I can't tell you about it without telling you too much. So I'll just read the back. Sarah Willis longs to free herself from the expectations of a privileged upbringing, while Winston Keller can't afford the luxury of a dream. Despite their differences, the pair are drawn together in a whirlwind romance that defies the boundaries of class. But when a dark family secret pulls the young lovers apart and the Second World War plunges the world into chaos, it seems impossible they will ever find their way back to each other or even hold on to the dream of what might have been. That's all I can say. That's all I want to tell you because otherwise I'll tell you too much more. It is really, really good. I loved it. I also like the cover, strange enough, because it's the back of, you see the hairstyle and it's the back of one of the characters. So I enjoyed this very much. Oh, this was good too. Now, this is, I don't know that this one's out now either. No, it's due out in September. I have read this. I did recommend, or I did show you this, but I don't think I'd read it at that time. This is Hot Ground by Lisa Ellery. Again, I'll just give you the back because I don't want to tell you too much. All right. In the middle of the night, in a remote part of Western Australian goldfields, the thud of a mallet on a marker peg sets off a chain reaction that unearths secrets long buried. Detective Jesse Parkin, sent to policing purgatory in the aftermath of a tainted investigation, is tasked with finding Max Cochrane, a veteran prospector who has vanished into thin air. What begins with a concerned daughter's plea for help soon burgeons into a mystery as shape-shifting as a desert mirage. Fortunes are being built on the back of Kalgoorlie's coveted gold, but the truth might be the rarest find of all. So this was really good. And she has written others, Lisa Ellery, but this is not due out until September. I recommend this one, and definitely these three I've read. They're really good, and I suggest that when you can, you put them on your to-be-read list and definitely get on and read them. I haven't read these two yet, but look, Alan Carter's writing and David Wish-Wilson, I did recommend in Australian Book Travels last year when I read their previous novels and enjoyed them. So they're all from Fremantle Press. They have the little house as their logo. They are brilliant. Generally they are. Usually they are West Australian authors that Fremantle Press publishes, and usually they are either based in or set in Western Australia. Not always, but usually. And they're really good. They do have brilliant authors. Some are comfy cozy, some are like Alan Carter and David Wish-Wilson. They're a bit more of a bite into policing or detective work, or into that espionage scene, and really get into more hardcore crime fiction. So those Fremantle Press have not disappointed me in their authors or the author's stories. They're normally top class, so I do recommend them. And of course I recommend The Undoing of Violet Clayborn. She's absolutely brilliant. The Emily Critchley that story is lovely. I really enjoyed it. Melaleuca, Angie Needs to Be commended on this. I think it was really good. Again, simply written, and there are some swear words in this, by the way, but in keeping with the story. It wasn't over the top. And yeah, I really did enjoy this one. And The Land Where Lemons Grow, I couldn't recommend this anymore. I think it's brilliant if you want to know anything about Italy, food, citrus, where it's grown, how it developed, how it evolved, the foods that all of these are used in, and the different types of citrus as well. Absolutely brilliant. I love them all. So that's it. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to say goodbye yet because we are going to take you out. I'm going to take you out and just show you this patch where I'd like to put the new chicken run, and then I'll sign off from there. So let's go outside. Okay, I apologise everyone if you can hear the wind. It is a little bit windy, and even though I have a muffler on the microphone, you still may be able to hear a bit of wind, so I apologise. Okay, so to the right of the screen you see just part of our house, and you can see the fencing, farm fencing. So we're going to use part of the farm fencing as the fencing for the new chicken run. I will extend this fencing. We'll probably put some timber, we'll bolt some timber, what am I trying to say? I'm just trying to think, sort of like 4x2 pieces of timber, and we'll bolt them to the tops of those posts, so that we get probably overall at least a 2 to 3 metre high fence, and I can wrap that in aviary wire and chicken wire. The aviary wire at the bottom so that we really deter snakes from getting into the coop, and then of course the chicken wire on the top of that to deter foxes and any dogs that we may get jumping in to our paddocks. So as you can see, this is, Mark and I yesterday just laid out some old fence posts that we had. We think this is around about what or where we will put those stumps. I will have to dig the stump holes out by hand. It's just much more convenient, and it saves us bringing in heavy equipment onto the property. Look, it's only a few posts, so I can I'll be able to do that by hand. But even with these posts, I will still have to put those extra lengths of timber on top of these posts to give me the 2 to 3 metre high fencing. These black tyre feed bins that you can see, they are old horse feed troughs that we had for the old horses who have now passed away. We're going to obviously move those. We don't need them any longer, so we will find another purpose for those. And of course there's an old bath there that we use for the kangaroos, because our dam has really suffered through our quasi drought over the last 2 years. Then this year we put in just an old bath that we had to use as a water source for the kangaroos. And the geese use it too. So, okay, so in this coop, we're hoping that this Chinese elm here and the Chinese elm here will provide enough shade in the summer. And of course, we will have a hen house in here as well. And I will put in some temporary shade, such as an umbrella, or we may make some sort of teepee with shade cloth over it, so that the girls will have, and the boys will have, temporary shade until we grow other plants and we have vines growing over the fencing. So this is it. I think Mark and I were saying yesterday, we think it certainly is the same size, or probably it will be a little bit bigger than the current coop. And of course in this one they'll have grass until they scratch it and eat it out. And then once they do that, hopefully the other coop will have, the grass will have seeded, it will have grown, and then we can move them back into the old coop. And it also gives us the ability here to then improve the soil. What with the autumn leaves, they will decompose, and then we'll have obviously the chicken poo and any sort of food scraps that decompose on the ground, and of course any hay that we put down for the chickens, that will all decompose and really improve this area, this soil. So yeah, that's it, everyone. I will sign off now. I'll take you for a little walk over here. I will sign off, and if you have, I just remind you all, if you have enjoyed any of the videos on this channel, please do like, share and subscribe. It's free to do so, and then it ultimately it helps the channel. In the meantime though, hopefully we'll see you next week, or on either on this channel or on Australian Book Travels. But in the meantime, please have a wonderful week and enjoy your food, enjoy your reading, enjoy life, because it really is precious. Thanks everyone. Take care. Bye for now.